Triple H was missing from Raw. CM Punk's promo was cut short. A lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about it right here on the Ango Show. Don't forget, if you want a chance to win this belt, all you got to do is click subscribe and do it before we hit 100K, because that 100K live stream is going to be banging. Follow me on X at AngoPW. With that being said, we're going to kick things off with some Triple H news. Triple H was missing from WWE Raw. This generated a ton of conversation from fans. Some people thought Raw was underwhelming. Some people thought it was great. Some people might just be trolling. Who knows? I thought Raw was okay. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was solid, I think the issue is a lot of people had big expectations for yesterday because obviously CM Punk and Randy Orton came back, but I don't think it was underwhelming in the slightest. I thought it was a solid episode. The thing is, though, Triple H wasn't there. And of course, once the news comes out that Triple H isn't there, people start to panic. Who was running the show? Was it Vince? What was going on? No, it was not Vince McMahon. In fact, the person running the show was Bruce Pritchard, at least according to PW Insider. Triple H had to attend other stuff for the WWE. Therefore, he missed Raw. Bruce Pritchard took over the show. And Triple H is expected to be back by SmackDown. Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think it was a bad show. I don't think it was necessarily an amazing show. I talked about it in my live review. If you guys want to know my thoughts, go ahead and check that out because I'm back doing live streams again. I break it all down. With that being said, Vince is not in the picture. Bruce Pritchard cannot be Triple H's fall guy. Okay? At the end of the day, if Triple H isn't there and the product isn't hot or whatever it may be, if the perception from fans is mixed reactions, you cannot use Bruce Pritchard as the fall guy. What WWE needs to do is make sure whoever is closest to Triple H takes that opportunity to run the show as close as possible to Triple H. Because Bruce Pritchard was a Vince McMahon guy. Now Bruce Pritchard is working with Triple H. I would much rather have William Regal or Shawn Michaels step up in the absence of Triple H. Why? Because we know their history with running WWE NXT. At the end of the day, when I look at Triple H and look at his product, it is a very, very watchable product. I seen some chatter on the internet where people were saying Raw was not watchable. My friends, if you want to know what a WWE product looks like when it's not watchable, look at Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns from a couple years ago on SmackDown. That is unwatchable. I think the big thing, too, is a lot of people were watching WWE Raw last night, not really sure of what's going on. The little small details, if you don't watch every single week, they don't make sense to you. So that's also part of it. With that being said, this is not an excuse. If Triple H is not going to be there, Bruce Pritchard cannot be the guy to take Triple H's reign. It needs to be somebody with the same philosophy on the show. Simple as that. Again, show wasn't terrible. Show wasn't amazing. It was good. It was solid. But it did miss a little bit of that ooze and maybe a little bit of that big impact you would expect from a CM Punk and Randy Orton return. But nonetheless, it's okay. We're going to keep it moving. Triple H will be back for SmackDown, and obviously that's a big deal. With that being said, though, we got to talk a little bit about the backstage morale. We saw Seth Rollins working everybody after Survivor Series. CM Punk comes back. Seth Rollins is pissed off. This is obviously getting a lot of people, crazy. And the thing here is that, like, people obviously believe that the backstage morale is problematic. That actually does not appear to be the case. One of the big things, too, is that the backstage morale for WWE Raw was actually very, very, very good, at least according to WrestleVotes. A lot of people were excited to be there. A lot of people see this as a major change for the company. A lot of people seem to be very happy with the way things are going down, which is actually amazing because I remember covering WWE when the backstage morale was absolutely garbage. And I talk about this. If you ever see my videos where I talk about WWE or UFC or AEW or any of these companies that put on sports entertainment, the biggest thing is like team camaraderie, right? It's always about that backstage morale. And more specifically in the world of wrestling, it's more important than anything else because it is scripted entertainment. You are trusting each other on a whole different level because, obviously you're in the ring together. You're putting each other's lives in each other's hands. So the thing is, backstage morale is actually very good. at a time where, truth be told, I thought maybe CM Punk coming in would ruffle some feathers. And the fact that CM Punk has been able to come into WWE and the backstage morale is this good, it's fantastic. And I think a lot of this really actually falls not so much on CM Punk, but more so with Vince McMahon's absence. Because with Vince McMahon being away from the product, I can tell you guys right off the rip, a lot more people probably feel better about their situation in the company. And I will also say this, Endeavor, they're not going to be able to maintain this. I do not think for 1 second they will always have great morale, right? I genuinely don't believe that. I think that is normal in any job, any circumstance where some people are going to be upset. But this whole talk about backstage morale, CM Punk coming in, people saw the videos of Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. That's not necessarily the case with WWE today. You know what I mean? It's a very different company, and it's so shocking to me. Honestly, it's shocking to me to see that this is kind of transpired the way it was. But the fact that the morale is good is a very good thing, and hopefully they could continue that going forward. Because CM Punk is controversial, CM Punk has everybody talking, but he didn't have much talking for himself on Raw, and this has generated a lot of interesting takes on Twitter, that's for sure. PW Insider reported that the initial plan for CM Punk was that he would be given more time for his promo. However, Randy Orton versus Dominic Mysterio match went a lot longer than planned, and WWE cut CM Punk's time, which is something that happens on a regular basis due to it being on live television. Basically, for long story short, CM Punk's promo was more of an abbreviated promo. This has kind of been happening a lot, actually, in WWE. It's actually, if you follow the WWE product, if you see one of the biggest things that's happened with Triple H taking over the company, it's that. We've seen it with the cage match that was supposed to be with the women on Raw months and months and months ago, and we're still seeing it. Time management on WWE Raw, for some reason, is an issue under the Triple H era, and with CM Punk getting an abbreviated promo, obviously they had to cut him short. It sucks, but that's something that needs to get fixed. In regards to CM Punk's promo, I think they have something cooking. I'm very optimistic about it. Earlier in the night, Seth Rollins calls him a hypocrite, and he basically comes out and confirms that he is. I think they're planting the seeds for a massive, massive heel turn for CM Punk. This is everything that it needed to be for his return, but then they cut it short. And, one thing that I did think was interesting, and I really feel like it's important to mention this, when it came to CM Punk, it was reiterated from House of Wrestling that CM Punk is looking to move past the drama of AEW entirely, and he has no plans to address anything that happened in AEW. It was also pointed out that basically, like, CM Punk is, he's got to do his job. He's there. He's got to be good. He can't have issues backstage, and I think that's important, man. I think you could tell great stories without shooting on AEW. And, it makes a lot of sense that I've been saying that because I said that AEW could shoot. I think AEW could do a lot of great storylines without shooting on WWE. So, at the end of the day, his promos may have got cut, but I feel like it was still a very effective promo. I think people are looking for a reason to be mad. You can't look for a reason to be mad. What you need to do is look for a reason to be happy, because right now wrestling is better with CM Punk in it than without CM Punk in it. Look at it from the perspective of him coming to AEW, man. This guy comes to AEW and he kills it. Then everything goes downhill. People are still talking about CM Punk. Then he goes to WWE and they're still talking about CM Punk. Let's enjoy the ride. I think it's going to be a fun one. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, I'm giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers, and you have a chance to win.